The MLB Winter Meetings are this week in Orlando. Who better to talk about some hardball and where the Red Sox are headed than NESN Red Sox analyst Tom Caron. TC, thanks for joining the show. I hear you got to Orlando okay, but maybe the Red Sox had a little trouble. What happened there?
Yeah, a lot of the front office, some of the PR staff, a handful of writers, they were on a plane that left Boston a little bit later. There's some really nasty thunderstorms down here last night. So they got diverted to the other side of the state. They had to sit it out about 3 hours until they got it around 1 a.m. So I believe Craig Breslow was already here safe and sound. So that's the most important thing.
Well, that's good. There's a lot of business to be conducted this week down there, Tom. First of all, let's just get it out of the way. Alex Bregman, where do you think things stand with him, and what's like a timeline for when we could expect maybe a decision?
Yeah, Ben, I'm glad you said timeline because I think that's the biggest thing on this story. Last year, he didn't sign until the night before spring training. And if he's looking for 5-6 years, I don't think he's going to get it quickly. And so if it plays out that way, if you're talking about another Scott Boras deal that's dragging throughout the winter, then you start to wonder, will the Red Sox make a move in spite of that? Will they decide to go in another direction? And does that close the door on Bregman? I know Alex Cora wants him. I know they'd love to get him back on a term that makes sense. I just don't think they're willing to extend on the years. And I think it's so early in the game that Scott Boras right now is expecting to get those years.
Tom, what's your sense of the Red Sox as they head into this offseason? Like, what's their sense of urgency right now for a front office to get, obviously they got to the playoffs this year, but their sense of urgency to take that the next step next year?
They've made it clear they want to add an impact bat, a middle of the order lineup, the Rafael Devers replacement that never really came through that door. And if you're talking about losing Bregman, now you really have to replace two bats. And I think there is urgency to at least get one middle of the order bat. There's been a lot of Alonso talk, obviously, though there were some rumors through the hallways last night that the Mets might be closing in on bringing him back. We'll see if it plays out that way. I do think they feel right now the priority is to get that bat. They've addressed the pitching. I don't think they've gotten the number 2 they said they want to get. So I think they're still looking at that via trade most likely, but I think there's more urgency on the offensive side because they know they need some right-handed power in that lineup.
So if Alonso does go back to the Mets, the other name you hear a lot is Kyle Schwarber. I would think that he'd want to stay in Philly given the year that he had. Do you see any scenario where the Red Sox maybe overextend to convince him to come? And if not Schwarber, then who?
Well, Cora's a big fan, and he talked about it mid-season when they faced Philadelphia. There's two things kind of working against a Schwarber fit here. A, he's left-handed. They really would like to add right-handed power if possible. And B, at this point, he's really a designated hitter. Masataka Yoshida is sitting there as your DH right now. Doesn't play, he played one game in the outfield last year. And so I just think they would like to get someone they could use in one of the corner spots on the infield. Alonso, obviously, a first baseman. A couple of these Japanese options are corner infielders. So I think that's the thing that works against Schwarber. They'd love to get him if the deal was right. I think he's going to be getting more than they're willing to extend for a DH.
Tom, do you think the Red Sox are setting us up for, hey, we're getting Roman Anthony back? That's our big bat that we're getting this year.
Well, there'll be some of that, no doubt about that. And he's the real deal. I mean, he is. They're going to build around him next year. But I don't think they're ready to say we don't need anybody because we have Roman Anthony. We're just talking to Alex Cora down the hall a little while ago, and he was just saying on MLB Network that, when they opened the season last year, Tristan Casas was batting 4th. Rafael Devers was batting 2nd. They didn't have those guys. You're not getting Devers back through that door. You don't know what you're getting out of Casas as he comes back. I think they'd love to see him work his way back. I don't think you can depend on him. So they need a bat. I don't think you can get through this winter without adding a big bat.
All right, Tom, great stuff. All right, before I let you go, we got 3 quick hitter questions for you here. Really important stuff. First of all, one thing we've been asking all of our guests, what are you currently listening to, either like podcast or music-wise right now?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm boring. I just looked at my Wrapped music for the year, and I think it was probably the same exact 10 bands that I was listening to last year. A lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers. They're number 1 on my list just about every year. So
nice.
We'll go with that. The Chili Peppers.
I like their station on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
Number 2, the best non-Red Sox general manager to speak to at these winter meetings.
The best non-Red Sox general manager to speak to at these winter meetings. Dave Dombrowski has always been a favorite. He's not afraid to tell you exactly what he's thinking, exactly what they're trying to do. There's some water under the bridge there between the Red Sox and Dombrowski, I know. But just a great conversation whenever I get together with Dave Dombrowski. So we'll go with Dombo.
Awesome. And real quick, what's your favorite winter meetings memory from over the years?
Oh, the best winter meetings memory, that's a really good one. I would say it was the year that they got Adrian Gonzalez. I think it's 2010. Adrian Gonzalez was the news on Sunday. And Wednesday night, the meetings are over. We're all out having dinner and drinks, and everyone's phone blows up that they just got Carl Crawford. And we all have to run away from our dinners and go back into the lobby and start doing live hits. So you love it when there's news. Last year was good, right? You had Soto. That news came out for the Mets on Sunday. Max Fried went to the Yankees on Monday. Red Sox got Crochet on Tuesday. We'll take that. But so far, nothing's happening.